The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. I didn't really like Austria when I grew up. I couldn't see myself becoming a farmer, even though my parents wanted me to stay there and have a normal life. My father wanted me to become a police officer like he was. My mother wanted me just to stay there and marry a girl. But that was their vision, not mine. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big. So I was searching. Then one day I went to school. I remember I was 11 years old. And they showed a documentary about America. That's where I want to be. But now the question was just, how do you get to America? In those days, it was a very expensive trip. It's not like today. One day after school, I walked by a store in Graz. And it was the only store that really sold kind of American stuff. So I went inside and I looked around. I saw a bodybuilding magazine that had Reg Park on the cover. Reg Park was then a 3-time Mr. Universe. And on the cover it said how Reg Park, Mr. Universe, became the Hercules star. So I bought the magazine, I took it home and I read it over and over from the front page to the back. I read that and I said to myself, wow, this is the blueprint for my life. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to become a bodybuilding champion just like Reg Park. I want to get into movies just like Reg Park. Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. When you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. Don't listen to the naysayers. Everything I ever did, the thing that I heard out of people's mouth was, that's impossible. That can't be done. I remember when I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion, including my parents and everyone else around me, said this is impossible. Nelson Mandela said that everything is always impossible until someone does it. When I wanted to come to America, when I wanted to go to America, they said it's impossible. There's no money that you have to fly even over there. You have no money when you go over there to live. When I'm in the show business, can you imagine? I was now a bodybuilder. I weighed 250 pounds. I was Mr. Olympia 6 times. I was Mr. Universe 5 times. And Mr. World and Mr. International. I won 13 World Bodybuilding Championships altogether. And now I said to the Hollywood agent, I want to get into movies. He said, that's funny, Arnold. I asked a studio executive. I say, I want to get into movies. I want to be a leading man. He started laughing. So they all say it's impossible. Look at how big you are. Hercules bodies and muscular bodies weighing 20 years ago. Even if you reduce all your body weight and everything and have a normal body, your accent. No one in Hollywood ever has become a leading man that had an accent. Imagine. You go from studio executive to studio executive, from agent to agent, from manager to manager, and they all said exactly the same thing. But you know something? I didn't give a shit. Because I believed that I can be a leading man. I said to myself, in bodybuilding, I worked out 5-6 hours a day. I'm going to do the same thing now for acting. And of course, I went to college to study English, accent removal, acting classes. I worked and I worked and I worked. And then all of a sudden, I was asked by Dino De Laurentiis and by Universal Studio, biggest studio, to star in Conan the Barbarian. And after I did Conan the Barbarian, the director at the press conference said to the press, he said to the press, if we wouldn't have had Arnold, we would have had to build one. And the same thing was with Terminator. After we were finished filming Terminator, Jim Cameron said to the press, if Arnold wouldn't have had that accent and talked like a machine, I think the movie wouldn't have worked. If I would have listened to the naysayers, from bodybuilding to show business, I would not be standing here today. Work your ass off. There is no magic pill. And it drives me crazy when people say that they don't have enough time to go to the gym for 45 minutes a day and work out. Or to do something for 45 minutes to an hour a day to improve. Imagine you read 1 hour a day. how much you will learn after 365 hours. Imagine if you will work on the business, on some business that you want to develop every day for an hour. When I went to America, I went to college, I went and worked out 5 hours a day, and I was working on construction, because in those days in bodybuilding there was no money. And at night, from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight, I went to acting class. There was not one single minute that I wasted. So it drives me nuts because we say we don't have the time. We have 24 hours a day. We sleep 6 hours a day, so that gives you still 18 hours. So there's someone shaking their head out here in front to say probably, I don't sleep 6 hours, I sleep 8 hours, right? Or just sleep faster. So we have 18 hours a day. The average person works around 8 to 10 hours, so we have 8 hours left. Then you travel around 2 hours a day. So now you have still 6 hours left. So what do you do with these 6 hours? Then we eat a little bit, talk a little bit to people and all that stuff. But you can see how much time there is available if you organize your day. I became very friendly with Muhammad Ali in the 70s. That was there in the gym when he was working out and he was doing sit-ups. And they asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? And he said, I don't start counting until it hurts. That is working hard. Work like hell, go to bed, and early to rise, work like hell and advertise. So you work your ass off, and then you let the world know about your work. That's what it is all about. Let people know if you have a company, if you have a movie, if you do a sports, work your ass off, but then advertise and let everyone know.